In 2026, the American candy aisle is a landscape of clever semantics. While you might reach for a familiar wrapper thinking you're indulging in a cocoa-rich treat, the FDA's strict standard of identity tells a different story. To be legally labeled as milk chocolate in the U.S., a product must contain at least 10% chocolate liquor, a blend of cocoa solids and cocoa butter, and cannot use vegetable fats as a replacement for cocoa butter. When a company swaps out expensive cocoa butter for cheap palm oil or hydrogenated fats, they lose the right to call it chocolate. Instead, they must use descriptors like chocolatey, chocolate-flavored, or chocolate candy. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Here are 6 American favorites that, by the letter of the law, aren't even real chocolate. 1. Hershey's Cookies and Cream, the chocolatey candy. The scandal. If you look closely at the white and blue wrapper of a cookies and cream bar, you will notice something missing: the word chocolate. Because it contains absolutely no cocoa butter or chocolate liquor, it cannot even be labeled as white chocolate. The reality: in 2026, this bar remains a bestseller, but it is technically a chocolatey candy. The primary ingredients are sugar, vegetable oil, palm, shea, sunflower, and/or safflower oil, and non-fat milk. The only chocolate involved is found in the cookie bits, which are made with cocoa processed with alkali. The smooth, melt-in-your-mouth texture isn't coming from the cacao bean. It's coming from a blend of industrial vegetable fats designed to mimic the snap of the real thing. 2. Mr. Goodbar, the high-fat swap. The scandal. Mr. Goodbar was once a proud member of the milk chocolate family, but rising cocoa costs led to a quiet recipe change. To keep the price point low for mass-market consumption, the cocoa butter content was slashed and supplemented with vegetable oils. The reality: under current FDA regulations, Mr. Goodbar is labeled as chocolate candy with peanuts. By adding oils like palm oil and sunflower oil, the product fails to meet the 100% cocoa fat requirement for milk chocolate. This is why, when you bite into a Mr. Goodbar in 2026, it may feel waxy or greasy compared to a premium bar. The oils have a different melting point than cocoa butter, meaning the bar doesn't dissolve as cleanly on the tongue, leaving behind a film that real chocolate enthusiasts find unmistakable. 3. Butterfinger, the compound coating. The scandal. The crispity, crunchity center of a Butterfinger is legendary, but the coating that holds it together is a chemical feat rather than being dipped in tempered chocolate. Butterfingers are enrobed in what is known as compound chocolate. The reality: the wrapper describes the bar as having a chocolatey coating. Because the fat source is primarily hydrogenated palm kernel oil rather than cocoa butter, it bypasses the need for tempering, the difficult process of heating and cooling chocolate to create a shine. This makes it easier to manufacture at scale, but it strips the product of its legal chocolate status. In 2026, this coating is essentially a flavored sugar and fat shell that provides structural integrity to the peanut butter core but lacks the complex flavor profile of real cacao. 4. Goldenberg's Peanut Chews, the War Ration Legacy. The scandal. A favorite in the Northeast, peanut chews have a history dating back to World War I rations. However, if you examine the dark-wrapped original version, you'll see it described as chewy chocolatey bites. The reality: peanut chews use a dark compound coating that utilizes vegetable oil, palm kernel, and palm oil to achieve its signature chewiness. Because it lacks the required chocolate liquor percentages for dark chocolate, it falls into the confectionery category. This allows the product to remain shelf-stable in extreme temperatures, a vestige of its military roots, but it means the chocolate experience is actually a blend of sugar, corn syrup, and cocoa powder suspended in vegetable fat. 5. Whatchamacallit, the multi-layered illusion. The scandal. With a name that suggests a bit of everything, the whatchamacallit lives up to its mysterious branding by hiding its fake chocolate in plain sight. The bar is officially described as made with chocolate, peanut-flavored crisps, and caramel. The reality: while the bar contains some chocolate, the bulk of the exterior is a chocolatey compound. In 2026, the ingredient list reveals a heavy reliance on high-fructose corn syrup and various vegetable oils. The chocolate mentioned on the wrapper is often a minor component compared to the sugar and oil-based coating. This results in a bar that is incredibly sweet and crispy, but lacks the deep, bitter-to-sweet transition found in bars that prioritize cocoa butter over palm fats. 6. Baby Ruth, the industrial enrober. The scandal, like its cousin the Butterfinger, the Baby Ruth relies on a massive amount of peanuts and caramel to distract from its exterior. The coating is technically a chocolatey shell, refined for high-speed industrial enrobing machines. The reality: the modern Baby Ruth is owned by Ferrero, who bought Nestlé's U.S. candy business, and in 2026, it remains a rich chocolatey treat. By substituting cocoa butter with vegetable fats, the manufacturer ensures the bar doesn't melt in the vending machine or turn white, as easily during shipping. However, this convenience comes at the cost of the legal definition. Without the requisite cocoa butter to carry the flavor, the Baby Ruth relies heavily on artificial vanillin and salt to create the illusion of a chocolate flavor. The transition from real chocolate to chocolatey isn't just about labels, it's about the bottom line. Cocoa butter is one of the most expensive fats in the world, frequently used in high-end cosmetics as well as food. By 2026, global supply chain pressures have made it even more lucrative for big brand manufacturers to sell compound products that mimic the look and feel of chocolate while using oils that cost a fraction of the price. For the shopper, the scam is in the marketing. We are conditioned to see a brown bar and think chocolate, but the FDA's labeling laws are the only thing standing between the consumer and a total takeover of vegetable fat candies. The next time you're in the checkout line, flip the bar over. If you see palm kernel oil before cocoa butter, or if the word chocolate is replaced by chocolatey, you're not buying a cocoa product, you're buying a flavored fat bar. Ultimately, choosing authentic chocolate requires looking past the brand name and scrutinizing the fine print for the presence of true chocolate liquor and cocoa butter. Do not worry, there are still brands who are providing authentic items for you to buy and savor. Let's just hope the consumer can pick up on the tricks to not be fooled.